But man, we haven't talked to you since the Jimmy Garoppolo restructuring from a day ago. So why don't we start right there? What did you think? I didn't see this coming. The 49ers opted to, it's funny. I was talking about it yesterday on the radio with Mark Willard on 95.7 The Game about what I would do. And I said, if it was me, I would restructure Jimmy and try to keep Jimmy. Why? Because you know what? I think of Bill Walsh, and I think of years where the Niners had Montana and Young and Steve Bono, and they always wanted to make sure they had a deep quarterback room where they could win with every guy in that room. And there was years there where they needed all three guys. So I said, you know what? I would go with three guys, and I would go with Trey Lance, Jimmy Garoppolo on a restructure, and Brock Purdy. And I just kind of crossed my fingers, and today it came true. So, and then, of course, they restructured Garoppolo and made it a $6.5 million base instead of a 20-something million dollar base. And they saved about $18 million there. And potentially, if he plays, if he plays, it'll be $16 million or $10 million extra in bonuses that he can achieve. We'll see if that actually happens. But what did you think of the move? I mean, my goodness, it's been lighting up the radio airwaves just across the bay for the last 48 hours.
Yeah, I think there's a lot to take in with that move, and I think there's a lot of ways to analyze it. But I think first and foremost, on paper, right, this is a fantastic deal for Jimmy Garoppolo. This is a fantastic deal for the 49ers. Solely on paper. I think there's a lot more to the conversation than what's on paper. But on paper, when you look at, just pure, hard, objective facts at, pros and cons, it's a great deal. Starting with Garoppolo, he was backed into a corner, right? If he went and started somewhere and he went, got cut right before week one, he was not going to get paid, probably not anywhere near $6.5 million. And he would have to go to a team, right? And let's say he goes to Seattle. Jimmy Garoppolo coming in week one, he's a better quarterback than Geno Smith, but Jimmy Garoppolo getting the playbook week one is not beating out Geno Smith, who started all training camp, right? It would take 4 or 5 weeks for him to get ready. You've got a really young offensive line. You've got a really young defense. You got a team that's kind of transitioning. It's a tough spot for Garoppolo to prove himself because he's trying to get his best opportunity and best earning potential in 2023, given how the offseason went with his shoulder surgery, right? And so for him, the best option really is to stay in San Francisco. He maintains his stock. If he plays, he's got Shanahan, he's got Debo, he's got Kittle, he's got Trent Williams, he's got Brandon Ayuk. He's got that defense, and it's going to prop him up to the max, right? Just as it has in 2019, just as it did last year. So he won't, be exposed a little, not exposed necessarily, but not have that type of statistical output that he's had with the 49ers on a poor team. And then the second thing is that now if he doesn't play and he's just sitting on the bench, his value maintains and he gets $6.5 million, which is more than probably what he was going to get had he signed somewhere and gotten the opportunities to start. So for Garoppolo and the position he was in and when he was going to get cut, this is the best thing that could have happened to him. It gives him the opportunity to make the most money he can make and best maintain his value in terms of pursuing an opportunity elsewhere in 2023. For the 49ers on paper, right, it's simple. They gave Nate Sudfeld $2.5 million fully guaranteed. He was pretty disappointing in preseasons, and it seems he's been disappointing in practice as well. And Brock Purdy looked good, but Brock Purdy is Mr. Irrelevant, the last pick in the draft. He's got some physical limitations, and he's also a rookie. So it's a young quarterback, right? Garoppolo fills two voids. One, he's a veteran. Two, he has starting experience. And three, he's much better than both Purdy and Sudfeld. So from that standpoint, on paper, right, it's a win.